The Justin Robert Young Show, brought to you as always by everybody who pays us at PayJuryDaily.com. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the JuRY Daily program. My name is Justin Robert Young, and by some particular happenstance, my nickname then became JuRY. See, if you take the J-U, right, but you got to put the U lowercase, the J is capitalized, J-U, and then the R-Y is in the Robert and the Young. That's right there. It's like a jury. It's a fun thing. At a certain point, Brian Brushwood called me that, and it seemed to have stuck like 10 years afterward. Anyway, friends, welcome. And a particular welcome to all of our Jewish viewers and listeners, as it is Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. I am reminded on this day, as I am all Yom Kippurs, of one of my favorite Jon Stewart jokes. Long before he was the host of The Daily Show, he had one of my favorite stand-up specials of all time, and I want to make sure that I get this right. Yom Kippur, greatest Jewish holiday ever, the Jewish Day of Atonement. You don't eat for one day, all your sins for that year wiped clean. Beat that with your little Lent. What is Lent? 40 days of absolution. 40 days to one day. Even in sin, you're paying retail. One of my favorites. Favorite Jon Stewart joke, and I am always reminded of Yom Kippur. I'm always up on the Jewish holidays. I always know the Jewish holidays because when I was growing up, I got them all off. Benefit of living in a very Jewish-enriched community. I guess that's the thing. I've never really lived too far away from a from a Shabbat center. I've never really been that far away from one. I've always grown up around Jews, near Jews. In fact, when I'm away from Jews, I feel disconnected from them. When I moved to Northern California, I was like, "There's not enough Jews here." I know the hallmark of a Jewish-laden area. I know. I can't get a good fucking bagel to save my life over here. This is what happens when you have enough Jews. If you don't have enough Jews, you don't have any good delis. You don't have any good bagels. And you certainly don't get regular access to Jewish holidays off. I'm going to start just taking them off, just so you know. Just so you know, I'm just going to start taking Jewish holidays off. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, all of them. I'm knocking out 3 or 4 of them for Hanukkah too. I'm going ham. Maybe not ham. Bad choice of words. I feel like this should be a thing for me. Number one, it's what. Like, at what point do I get to feel bad that I don't get these days off anymore? I feel like that. I know that I'm not the victim here, nor am I actually celebrating the holiday, and that's why everybody in all of my schools growing up in Florida got them off. Because this was time to be spent with family. But who's to say that I didn't make my own relationship with Yom Kippur? Yom Kippur was a great one. Oh, geez. School had just started. Boom, a day off just to take the edge. Right? You know, you're just getting into school. You're settling into classes. Boom, here's a day in the middle of the week. Don't fucking do whatever. You know, this has been a lot of bullshit really, really fast. Don't worry about it. Take it off. And then there's also the fact that people just think I'm Jewish anyway. This might be another a subsection of one of our favorite games here on this show. Guess my race. Be honest. Be honest. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. When you first saw me or heard me, usually when you see me, did you believe that I was Jewish? Did you believe that I was Jewish? Yes or no? Put it here in the YouTube descriptions. Email me, jurydaily@gmail.com. Now, here's something that I found with my ethnic ambiguity. Everybody thinks I'm someone else unless you're of that persuasion, right? So I'll get a lot of goy telling me I'm Jewish, but I won't get a lot of Jewish people. I don't get a lot of Jewish people walking up to me and speaking Hebrew. I get a lot of various different Eastern European ethnicities, but not from the people in Eastern Europe. So here's we go. That is my question to you guys. Did you believe when you first saw me that I was Jewish? In general, the first time that I realized that I had any kind of ethnic ambiguity is when I left Florida. Because in Florida, it's all a fucking hodgepodge. You're never shocked, because everybody intermarries. So, like, the Ecuadorian Jewish household, not uncommon, right? There's just a lot of everybody celebrating every holiday in South Florida. First time I realized that I had an ethnic ambiguity was when I went up to New York State, where everybody, presumably, thought I was either Jewish or Cuban. None of the Jews thought I was Jewish, and none of the Hispanics, the 7 of them that were up in upstate New York, thought I was Hispanic. But the whites, the whites would cast off wherever they were, wherever they were going to be. All right. I want to hear your takes on that. And again, it sucks to not eat for a day, man. Tell you what, the Jews had that intermittent fasting thing going before anybody else, right? With Yom Kippur. The feeding window was closed and then opened again for the rest of the year. It's intermittent fasting for one day a year. That's it. All right, let's go ahead and get into your email. Cappy writes in, by the way, jurydaily@gmail.com, jurydaily@gmail.com is where you want to email in, or of course leave a YouTube comment right here on the YouTube page, youtube.com/Justin Robert Young. Cappy writes, hey there, Jury. You are spot on with your hurricane party tips. I've lived in Florida all my life. In the mid-2000s, when we had 3 hurricanes roll through in 1 year, man, did we have some good parties. Our first one sheltered more than 20 people with a lot of booze and food. My pro tip is to stock up on ice in whatever coolers you have. In Florida, it's mandatory that everyone has at least 2 to 3 large coolers. That's a fact. You don't even buy them. They just mail them to you when you are born. It's like it comes from the state. Before it gets bad and stores close, go ahead and get your booze, food, and water in that order. If you have a gas grill, make sure that you have your propane tanks filled up so you can cook your food before it goes bad. A lot of these are also quote-unquote survival tips. Sure. But, I mean, come on. They're there for the party. Cappy also wrote in with this little, of Florida bon mot. To the rest of the country, Florida, we will have you in our prayers under this trying time. We wish this devastation not upon anybody. Floridians answering back. We are the honey badger. Grabs bottle of booze and cigarettes. We give no fucks. Rises up on a cloud of mosquitoes. We are not a species meant to last. Loads a shotgun to shoot a hurricane. Our everyday weather and wildlife will kill us, and yet it doesn't. Drop kicks a gator. We are the Australia of the United States. Hold up a Florida flag as an eagle screeches overhead. We fear nothing. Hashtag America, bring it on. Which pretty much, I think, sums up the Florida of it all. Thomas wrote in with this, the new Papa John's marketing. And he sent a picture that you'll be able to see here on youtube.com/JustinRYoung. It is a Papa John's mailer, and it says, "This is who we are." And it has a racially diverse headshots of what I assume to be local employees of a local Papa John's. They make sure that they write local as many local times as they local can on this local flyer. Locally owned and operated is written no less than 3 times in very, very large font on an 8x10 piece of paper. It then says, "This is who we are, our neighbors serving our community." I want to start a thing because I am fascinated by this, and I love the fact in this post-social media world where everything is, problematic, understandably, because this is what happens when you get closer to all of us. I was thinking about this when it came to the problematic thing. Everything's problematic. Yes, it is. But you want to know why? It's actually because of progress. It's because you don't tell strangers something hurts you. Because what the fuck does a stranger care about? You tell friends. You tell people close to you. And so even though it doesn't feel like it, it feels like all we're doing is picking on each other. Really, all we're doing is expressing our pain because now we have the ability to. Now, in this era, we have come about an era of advertising from companies that effectively boil down to hashtag we fucked up. I've seen this with Wells Fargo, Uber, Papa John's, so many companies that have had bad press for one thing or another that now have decided that they're going to make their new marketing slogan hashtag we fucked up. Oh, Facebook too. Facebook's had some of the best. So I want all of you, the JuRY Daily Nation, to be like Thomas, who sent this in, and please send me any hashtag we fucked up advertising that you spot in the wild. Do it on Twitter at JustinRYoung. Just use hashtag we fucked up because I want to track all of the best. And maybe at the end of the year, we can find the we fucked up champion. Who did hashtag we fucked up the best? But this Papa John's ad reminds me of my favorite element of Oakland. My favorite element of Oakland is that there is a Burger King. A Burger King that has a big sign on it that says, "This Burger King is locally owned and operated." And then it lists all the things, much like this Papa John's ad. This is because during the Occupy Wall Street, the Occupy Wall Street, which became Occupy Oakland, because Oakland riots on a national level, they kept getting their windows smashed out because Burger King is one of the big signs. The plastic grin of the king is, to many, the sign of capitalism rung amok. So I love this Papa John's advertisement, but not as much as I love one of the most popular segments here on this podcast, and that is, of course, our weekly sojourn into the expanded minds of our viewers and listeners. This is High Thoughts.
The characters of VeggieTales have invisible hands. They would make great thieves. Sometimes you applaud Mr. Wacky, and sometimes you are Mr. Wacky. Trust me, that can't convince the... Okay, wait, one second. I just have to show somebody what's up.
I think that one got that one got lost in translation.
Bird boogers are gross. People want to become one with the universe, but not the multiverse. I guess that's because it's inherently impossible becoming one with multiples. Two crabs think that fish are flying. Kanye West Virginia.
Well, that about wraps it up for us. If you want your high thoughts submitted, please go ahead and do it by emailing us jurydaily@gmail.com. Again, jurydaily@gmail.com. Put high thoughts, high, H-I, comma, thoughts in the subject line. Big thank you to our producers, the Jen, PD Rave, Non-Specific, Rock and Roll Martian, Joe Acosta, Will, John H. Meyer, James, Bill, and Dustin. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat @Justin R. Young. Hashtag join the conversation @diamondclub.reddit.com. That about wraps it up for us today. Folks, please give a round of applause to Mr. Wacky. And if you find yourself with nothing to eat today so you can atone for your sins, well, through the sacrifice, please remember that it is your old pal Justin Robert Young saying please don't. No! Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.